the biology of intention and the conscious observer. Close your eyes for a brief moment and allow the weight on your shoulders to find the rest you have denied yourself for so long. Imagine, in the center of your chest, a vast and deep ocean plunging into absolute silence, where the noise of the world outside can no longer reach its depths. Perhaps you have arrived here today carrying the exhaustion of someone who has tried everything, who has read all the books, said all the prayers, and repeated countless affirmations, yet still feels that the waters of life remain agitated and cloudy. I see your effort, I feel your sincere search for a greater meaning, and I perfectly understand how much it hurts to feel that the universe seems not to respond, or that the miracle you need so badly insists on staying just there, on the horizon, without ever touching your shore. Often, our search for real transformation stumbles upon the exhaustive illusion of mental effort, where we believe we must fight against reality to change it. We believe, with an almost desperate sincerity, that if we think hard enough, if we strive with every fiber of our conscious being, reality will finally bend to our will. But the truth, spoken with all the warmth your journey deserves, is that trying to manifest miracles through the conscious mind alone is like trying to steer a gigantic ship using only a small wooden oar, while the powerful underwater currents, representing your subconscious, carry you with total force in the opposite direction of your desire. Dr. Bruce Lipton brings us fundamental light to understand this conflict through his membrane analogy, where he clearly teaches us that your quantum mind is not confined inside your head, but rather in the way your cells perceive the world. If the cell membrane, which functions as the true brain of every part of your body, perceives an internal environment of fear, lack, or urgency, it closes itself off to life and enters a rigid survival mode, blocking any possibility of a miracle. In this state of biological defense, your body understands that it only needs to survive an invisible danger, and therefore it has no energy to create or evolve into a new, more prosperous and happy reality. The concept of the collapse of the wave function, so well explored by Joe Dispenza, shows us that the miracle you seek already exists right now as a vibrant and real possibility within the quantum field, waiting to be noticed. However, this reality only becomes physical and palpable when you, in the position of the conscious observer, stop staring fixedly at what is missing and begin to vibrate at the same electromagnetic signature of the solution you desire. What if you discovered, at this very moment, that the only law for change is not about asking something from a universe that seems distant, but about caring for the biology of your own internal resonance? Your body listens to everything your soul whispers, and today we are going to learn to whisper the language that the quantum field finally understands. The law of electromagnetic coherence, why your desire is silenced by your body. Often, without you realizing it, you live in a state of silent vibrational blockage that cancels out all your most beautiful and pure intentions. You may hold a thought of abundance for a few minutes, but if your stomach tightens with anguish when you open a bill, or if your chest tightens with loneliness when you look aside, there is a deep disunity between what you say and what you are. The quantum field is an impersonal and infinitely honest mirror. It does not read the words that come out of your mouth. It reads the feeling that overflows from your body through the electricity of your brain and the magnetism of your heart. In spiritual neuroscience, we understand that this is the painful conflict between your neocortex, where your conscious desire lives, and your emotional brain, where the beliefs you inherited and cultivated for decades reside. If there is no true cardiac coherence, where the heart and brain speak the same language of peace, the signal you send to the field is just a confused noise that the universe cannot organize into the form of a miracle. The great change in perception that I invite you to embrace today is understanding that manifesting is not the act of attracting something from the outside in through merit or effort, but rather allowing what already inhabits your interior to alter the geometry of your outer world. When you insist on asking, you are reinforcing to your cells that you still do not have it, and your biology responds to this sense of lack by creating more situations of scarcity to confirm what you feel. This is why the practice of neuroscience is infinitely more powerful for manifestation than spending hours repeating phrases that your body does not yet believe to be true. In silence, you stop producing the emotional static that distorts your connection to the sacred and allow the natural harmony of life to flow through you again. All healing begins with the deep acceptance of what hurts, because by accepting, you stop fighting, and by stopping the fight, you finally release the energy necessary for your vibration to rise to new heights. Imagine, to ease the understanding of your heart, that you are a radio station trying to tune into an absolutely sublime classical symphony that plays non-stop on a specific frequency. The music is already in the air. It is available to you every second, but your internal transmitter is covered by a thick mud of past traumas, unresolved heartaches, and disappointments that have hardened your gaze. What comes out of the speakers of your current life is just that irritating static noise that tires the soul and exhausts hope. Not because the music stopped, but because the transmitter needs to be cleaned. Your spiritual work is not to create the music or convince the radio to play what you like. Your only and true work is to clean the transmitter with the water of compassion and forgiveness. It is not what happens outside that determines your peace. It is what vibrates inside you that draws the scenery where you walk every day. The invisible error of the addiction to the search and spiritual dopamine. We need to speak with great honesty and affection about an invisible obstacle that may be keeping you prisoner of an endless cycle. The addiction to the incessant search for answers. Have you noticed that the more you study universal laws and manifestation techniques, the further the miracle seems to be and the more difficult it is to reach? This happens because many of us become addicted to the small momentary pleasure of learning a new theory or hearing an inspiring lecture, which generates a surge of spiritual dopamine that makes us feel good for a few minutes. However, this fleeting sensation deceives us, causing us to confuse the act of searching with the act of being, and thus we spend our lives collecting knowledge without ever reaching the actual embodiment of the state of fulfillment. There is a distorted idea that we need more and more information so that the universe finally becomes convinced that we are worthy. But the quantum mind requires exactly the opposite, the courageous unlearning of who you believe you are. The counterintuitive truth that almost no one has the courage to say is that the urgency you feel to manifest something is the mathematical proof to the quantum field that you still live submerged in the consciousness of scarcity. The miracle, by a law of pure resonance, always flees from those who pursue it with desperation, because desperation vibrates in absence and the field only multiplies that which is already vibrating in us. You are not broken and you do not need fixing. You are simply in a process of transformation that requires you to let go of the need for control. To break this cycle, I invite you to practice what we call neurological detachment, which is the daily exercise of training your brain to find satisfaction and presence in the process of being alive now, and not just in the final result you so desire. When you feel good without any external reason, you send such a powerful signal of abundance that the quantum field has no other choice but to reflect that fullness in your matter. Visualize your quantum mind as if it were a perfectly crystal clear mirror of water in a hidden and deep lake, capable of reflecting the beauty of the sky with absolute perfection. If you spend all your time throwing stones of anxiety, doubt, and haste to see if the miracle is arriving, the waves you create yourself distort the surface of the water and prevent the image of your desire from stabilizing. Every time you ask, "When will it happen?" you throw a new stone and the mirror breaks again into 1,000 pieces of uncertainty. The frequency of gratitude rewrites your reality because it is the sign that the lake is at peace, allowing the image of your new life to be projected with clarity and solidity. You are not alone on this walk. The universe is listening to the silence of your lake, and it is in this silence that the miracle finds room to finally anchor in your physical experience. The law of biological assumption, Neville Goddard's secret through the lens of epigenetics. I recognize the deep pain of trying to feel that something is already real when all your physical senses insist on showing exactly the opposite. Whether through an empty bank account, a difficult diagnosis, or the silence of an empty house. It is a legitimate human challenge, and I validate the difficulty you feel in maintaining faith when the world seems to collapse around you. However, the quantum concept of entanglement reveals to us that there is an invisible and indestructible bridge between your sacred imagination and the dense matter that makes up your life. As Neville Goddard taught us, your imagination is not a silly fantasy or an escape from reality. It is, in fact, a neurological rehearsal of the highest precision. When you imagine a scene with feeling and clarity, you are literally signaling to your genes and changing your internal chemistry before even a single atom moves out there, proving that your biology responds directly to your spirituality. The greatest saboteur of your frequency is the almost addictive habit of checking physical reality every 5 minutes to see if the technique worked or if the sign appeared. Every time you look for external proof before transforming internally, you interrupt the flow of creation and restart the process from scratch, like someone who pulls a seed out of the ground every day to see if it has already taken root. The law of assumption asks us to inhabit the final state, to walk through the world feeling the relief and peace of someone who has already received what they asked for. To facilitate this journey, use the state of drowsiness, that sacred moment just before falling asleep, to reprogram your subconscious without the barriers and criticisms of your rational ego. In this state, feel the texture of your new life, smell the scent of your restored health, feel the warmth of the embrace you so expect, and fall asleep submerged in this unshakable certainty. Think, for a moment, of the total surrender of a great actor who doesn't just memorize lines from a script, but who becomes the character in every look, in every breath, and in every silence. For the miracle you seek to happen, you need to have the courage to abandon the old clothes of that version of you who is a victim of circumstances and who lives begging for crumbs. You need to wear, with dignity and confidence, the skin of someone who already possesses everything they need to be happy and fulfilled right now. Always remember that imagination is God's draft in your soul, and when you assume the identity of your victory, your own biology begins to reorganize the world around you so that it coincides with your new internal truth. The only law that matters is the law of who you decide to be, regardless of what your physical eyes are seeing at this moment. How dopamine and cortisol hijack your creative capacity. It is fundamental that you understand how chronic stress and constant worry act as hijackers of your ability to create a new life. When you live submerged in fear of the future or regret for the past, your body produces high doses of cortisol, keeping your quantum mind trapped in a repetitive cycle where you just relive the same problems every day. Under the effect of stress, your brain deactivates the frontal lobe, which is precisely the region responsible for creativity, intuition, and connection with the infinite possibilities of the field. You cannot project a different future if your biological body believes, with all its strength, that it is being pursued by an imminent danger. There is also the dangerous myth that you can manifest great miracles while nurturing emotional states of judgment, severe criticism of others, or gossip, as these low frequencies close the doors of cellular perception to the light of abundance. The great revelation that can set you free today is understanding that the greatest miracle of your life will not be the money that arrives, the disease that goes away, or the relationship that heals. The true and deepest miracle is the radical change in your brain chemistry that makes all these external things irrelevant to your essential happiness. It is at the exact moment when you feel so connected to the source and so at peace with yourself that you no longer feel the desperate need for something to happen for you to be okay, that the path opens. It is in this state of surrender and detachment that the quantum field finally finds a clean channel to deliver the blessings that were already reserved for you. If you wish to interrupt the stress cycle right now, try a simple technique. Stop everything, place your hand over your heart, and breathe, focusing only on the beat of this sacred drum, bringing to mind a single memory that makes you truly smile for just 2 minutes. This small action is capable of restoring your creative frequency and signaling to your cells that the danger has passed and that it is now safe to create and dream again. Trying to manifest a new life while you are under the dominion of cortisol is exactly like trying to plant delicate seeds in boiling volcanic lava soil. The heat of your emotional reactivity burns the seed of your intention before it even has any chance to take root. The soil of your mind must be calm, cool, and nourished by acceptance for life to sprout with strength and beauty. All real healing begins when you decide that your inner peace is worth much more than being right or controlling the world outside. When you change your chemistry, you change your destiny, and the universe, which always listens to you, begins to organize the atoms of your existence according to the calm you have decided to cultivate. Subtle signs that your quantum mind has been activated. Often, discouragement and the urge to give up arise because we were taught to ignore the small miracles of daily life, focusing all our attention only on the big final result. This blindness to sacred details ends up deactivating our frequency of gratitude, which is the fuel that keeps the engine of manifestation running steadily. When you begin to change your internal vibration, the universe initiates what we call echo-synchronicity, which are small subtle signs that your new reality is approaching you. It could be the name of someone you haven't seen in years appearing in an unexpected place, a song playing on the radio answering an internal question, or a sequence of events that seem to have been perfectly orchestrated by an invisible hand. These signs are not just silly coincidences. They are the quantum field confirming that you are in resonance with the new life that is trying to be born through you. Another clear sign that your quantum mind has been activated is a revelation that may seem strange at first. The sudden loss of interest in things, people, or habits that were previously part of your routine. If you have started to feel that certain friendships no longer make sense, that certain conversations tire you, or that places you used to go now seem strange, do not be afraid and do not feel guilty. This is the most evident sign that your old identity is dying so that the new one can occupy the space, and this distancing is necessary so that your frequency is not pulled back to the past. Learn to read the field not as a harsh judge who demands immediate results, but as a curious explorer who observes every clue with a smile on their face and a heart full of hope. Each small synchronicity is a loving reminder that you are not alone and that the process is in full motion, even if you do not yet see the complete result with your physical eyes. Think of this process as the unmistakable scent of wet earth that begins to perfume the air long before the first drop of rain actually falls to the ground. If you can smell the rain, you know it is coming, even if the sky still looks clear in some spots. You don't need to see the storm to know that relief is on the way. Similarly, learn to feel the aroma of your miracle in the field of the invisible, noticing the peace that begins to inhabit your chest and the softness that returns to your gaze. When you begin to appreciate the path and the small clues, you stop suffering from the delay and enter the natural flow of life, where everything happens in the perfect time of consciousness. The frequency of gratitude for what is not yet visible is the master key that opens the doors of the impossible, transforming your perception into a powerful tool of divine creation. The return to unity and the Creator's rest. As we reach the end of this deep and honest conversation, I want you to keep in the depths of your soul the most liberating truth of all. The only law that truly governs your existence is the law of your identity. You will never manifest what you want with your ego. You will always, and without exception, manifest what you are in your deepest vibrational essence. As Dr. Bruce Lipton teaches us with such wisdom, we are the true genetic engineers of our own reality. And every perception we choose to embrace about ourselves is an instruction sent directly to our biology. A miracle is not a magical or impossible event that breaks the laws of nature. It is simply the natural and inevitable result of an internal environment that has returned to its original state of peace, coherence, and unity with the all. When you heal yourself inside, the world around you has no other option but to reflect that healing in every detail of your material experience. Greg Braden frequently speaks to us about the concept of the divine mirror, reminding us that the outer world is but a faithful and immediate reflection of our internal state of consciousness. If the miracle you so long for has not yet appeared in front of you, I ask you with all my heart, do not try to fight with the mirror. Do not try to break reality or force situations with the hands of exhaustion. Instead, change the face that looks into the mirror, change the expression of your soul and the frequency of your heart, and you will see the outer image transform without any additional effort on your part. My final invitation to you today is to finally stop trying to manifest with the weight of the world on your back and start being the manifestation itself through surrender and conscious rest. Trust the quantum intelligence that sustains every galaxy in space and that makes your heart beat rhythmically while you sleep, for that same force knows exactly how to organize the atoms of your life so that your highest good happens. Close your eyes once more and feel the presence of the universe as a warm and constant embrace that has never abandoned you, not even in your darkest days of pain or loneliness. What if the pain you have felt until now, with all its weight and tears, was actually the necessary portal to the full and enlightened life you have always sought, but did not know how to access? What would happen in your life if, starting this very second, you decided to rest in the absolute certainty that the universe has already heard you and is already moving invisible mountains in your favor? You are not alone. You have never been alone. And your healing has already begun the moment you allowed these words to touch your inner truth. Go in peace. Feel gratitude as if the miracle were already your story of today, and watch the magic of life revealing itself before your eyes with the naturalness of someone who has finally returned home.